And that is how we got Miss Ruth.
These things.
Okay.
So talk about being a storyteller, because the fact that you wrote it on the plan.
Yeah. No, Mark and Megan asked me to come and tell a story that I told them, and they thought it might be interesting to you. So, how do you like my mink coat? I bought it for half a stack of $100 bills in Michael Valenti First Salon in Caesar's Palace in 1983. You're familiar with it?
Born and raised.
Uh-huh. And look, it's a classy place. They even put my name on it. Like maybe I was going to go to sleepaway camp or something. But that would be a nice story. But it's not the story I'm going to tell you tonight. The story...
Did you just get that from that coat?
Not really.
Because my wife would really like that.
The story I'll tell you tonight is about another mink jacket. My first mink jacket. One that my husband bought for me in 1973, not 1983. And he didn't buy it in Michael Valenti. He bought it at Sears. And it wasn't exactly a mink jacket, it was a mink trim jacket. And it wasn't the same price as a small car. But it was a surprise, and I loved it. And I thought it was going to be perfect, but it needed alterations. So Sears suggested Rudy's Furs on 6th Street downtown. So that was the plan. Now you have to understand, it was the 70s. My husband and I were school teachers, and working with a very tight budget, we were really thrilled when we could buy our first house and decorate it in what we felt was the height of sophisticated style for the time. And that meant mirror tiles, cork tiles, metallic wallpaper. It was great. I know, it's hard to believe. It was brown shag carpeting, a black, white, and brown couch in the living room, and of course, Harvest Gold appliances in the refrigerator.
Dad's house.
But my pride and joy, my greatest decorating achievement was the bathroom. I painted the walls glossy black, and then I took more metallic wallpaper and took strips and framed it in silver. The wallpaper was white and silver and shiny. And then I created a custom masterpiece, the shower curtain. I painstakingly hung individual strands of silver, crystal, and black beads to make a shower curtain. But that wasn't the best thing. The best thing in the focal point of the room was the floor. I covered the entire floor with long-haired fake fur. I loved it. I felt like a movie star every time I took a bath.
Oh my goodness.
Well, the holidays were over and it was time to get the coat altered. So I put on my spike heels and a dress and the coat and went to Trudy's for the alterations. Well, it was surprising to see that Trudy operated out of a home downtown. And I rang the bell on the front door, and I could hear a voice in the back say, "Come on in, I'm working on something back here." So I stepped into Trudy's front room. Looking around, there was very little there. There were a few chairs on the perimeter and a large mirror on a stand. That's about it. But I was thrilled to see Trudy must have the same taste that I did, because she had white fur rug on the floor too. It was like a runway in front of the mirror. So there I was with my fur coat, my spike heels, and as I was waiting for her to come out, I walked back and forth. I strutted like a model on the runway on this fur rug. Luckily, I had just stepped back when Trudy came out of the back room. She said, "Oh, hello. What do you think of Liberace's cape?" It's 16 feet long, and I didn't have a table big enough to work on it, so I laid it out here on the floor so I could get the work done on it. I didn't tell her. I'd assumed it was a rug. From time to time, as I saw him on television through the years, I'd see the cape, and I remembered how embarrassing it could have been if anybody had known I'd been walking on it. In 2009, some friends and I visited the Liberace Museum, And, you know, they had the ornate furniture and multiple pianos and multiple photos of his appearances. But they also had display cases where they had a lot of the costumes he'd worn through the years. Well, I'd been to the museum before, so to kill some time as my friends continued looking, I decided to talk to one of the docents. I said to her, I recognize a lot of these costumes, but whatever happened to his trademark white cape? The long cape. And she said, we had to cut it up. Luckily, we were able to salvage some of the fur and use it for trim on the other costumes. But for some reason, it got holes in it. It just didn't hold up.
Oh, wow.
Nobody knows why.
No, that's not you.
Again, I didn't say anything. But I knew why. My spike heels knew why. And I know he's gone, but if I'm ever haunted by Liberace's ghost, I'll know he knows why too. Thank you.